Hi there. Welcome to this demonstration of the remote proctoring tool by Meritrack. Um, Essentially, this tool allows you to um, establish the credibility of a candidate in a remote fashion. So, anytime, anywhere, you would want to sort of conduct examinations. You really don't need to invite a candidate to the test center or a physical location. All you do is you sort of send the link of your assessment to that person, and this solution sits on top of the LMS in which he's conducting a course or writing the assessment, or the secure test player that you might be using. So what I'll do is I'll take you through a quick feature snapshot followed by a working software demo so that you can really appreciate how the proctored protocols look like. So here is what it does. So in a feature snapshot, it does an automatic connection check, which means it does a connection check of the internet. It does the audio and the video check, and followed by an identity verification in which it captures the image and certain other details of the candidate who's taking the assessment. It also looks for any secondary camera or any secondary tools or devices that the person might have connected their primary system to. And since it's asynchronous proctoring, it's not a scheduled session. So irrespective of the time that the person takes the assessment, um, it just runs on the background, irrespective of time. Um, Also, it's an automated proctoring session, which means that there is a proctoring score which comes out, which is a formula based derivative of about 11 factors that the tool measures. Um, Also, you as a administrator will be able to view the entire video based session protocol for up to 15 days post the SSE has taken the assessment. So the entire log file remains with you. You can really go through it wherever you want. And of course, there are reports, statistics, and administrative features which the tool provides. Now, without ado, I'm just going to sort of jump into a live demonstration of how the tool really works, what kind of reports you get, and what are the checks and balances that the tool helps test administrator really evaluate the credibility of a candidate. So I'm just going to come out of that and jump into my session here. So this is a learning management system of a client, and the background here is that the client has a certification program in the banking industry. It's a banking client. Um, as a gateway to that, to even applying for that certification, the client has a certification assessment, which is nothing but a management aptitude test. As you can see, there is, and the assessment is comprising of about 60 marks. It is about an hour's duration, and this is a post-assessment dashboard that is available to the client in the client's learning management system. So these are the number of people who have taken the assessment, and for instance, let me just sort of focus on this candidate. It's his name is Rajneesh Pushka. He's had a one attempt to this assessment. This is the time that he took the assessment. This is his score. He got 55 out of 60, and that's quite a high score. Now, if you as an administrator want to sort of you know see if this candidate is really genuine, you can really get into the recorded session that the remote proctoring tool provides. Now, I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to sort of go into the grading portion here. Now you can see that there is a proctoring score which is here, and this is about 82 is what it shows for this person. And we'll really see what the breakup of this score is when we look at his report. There is also a suspicious activity check, wherein we'll now go into the proper session protocol and the remote proctoring tool UI to really look at how did the session go, and how the proctoring tool has arrived at the score. So I'm just going to click on view events, and once I click on view events, I have this whole lot of UI which is open. So I can see that Rajneesh has given the assessment on 18th of November 2018 at 5:35 p.m. He took 21 minutes to finish the assessment. His remote proctoring score is 82%. That's the credibility that he's established. Here you can see a screen which is nothing but the entire video playback that is available to you of his 21-minute session. And below, if you really want to sort of go to specific minutes of the entire protocol, so you can see this entire 21 minutes is captured in a minute by minute diagrammatic frame, with the 11 cumulative factors being evaluated minute by minute, and you can see there are deviations in those factors. Now, these are the deviations that you need to sort of look for in case you want to view any suspicious activity. And at scale, if you're evaluating about thousands of assessments in a day and your team size is small, then either you can just sort of go to playback here and sort of jump straight ahead to this particular time frame and evaluate what's wrong there, or you can also view the phases and the event section. Now, these are two very interesting sections if you really want to do a very quick preliminary check of the session, right? So I'm going to go to this phases section. So what phases section is really is that it sort of captures minute by minute of the person's persona. So you can see it starts at 12:01 a.m. wherein the identity checks are being done by the proctoring tool, and there are these screenshots with it. There are these webcam shots that it's taking um, all throughout the session, and you can see that he's looked somewhere else, somewhere below, so you can just go to 12:18 a.m. or the 18th minute of the test and see what's happening there, right? Now you might say, hey, this is just a snapshot of the person's face, and I'm all right. How do I really see if the person has any other tabs open on the screen, or he's minimized the window of the test player? So for that, we have this events section here, and if I click there, what it does is it does pretty much the same thing, with the only difference that every alternate minute there is an auto capture of the person's face followed by the person's screen. So that is where you can see. So you can see here, we can see that the question appears and there is nothing else open on his browser, right? So similarly, you can do a quick run through and of the entire session here until you're satisfied. Now, let's say you really want to do a deep dive into this person's session and look at what the report is. So I'm going to go to the video playback session here, and yeah, and the session started here. You can see a minute by minute capture, the entire capture of the video playback. Now we can see there's a huge spike here, and there's a deviation of 40 here. So we'll just go to this particular minute and see why it is so, right? So you can see there are background noises here, and um, so so this is where it's so sensitive. It captures background noises as deviations as well, because somebody might be whispering, you see, right? So now what we'll do is